Greetings from real life. This is Jasmine, the leadership team from Pitch Punch event. So I welcome all of you to this online session for branding and product positioning. So I'm really thankful to you because you have committed your time to come and learn something and invest back to your startups and entrepreneurial ventures and make the commitment for country's economy. So I really thank you for your time. And also I will give you the guideline today. We have Upul Dasanayake. He's an expert in exports branding and products innovation and positioning in this area. And he will be giving his introduction, and then he will guide you with the how to position your products and develop global brands. So I don't take much time. I will hand over to Upul officially, and from there, he will be taking this session forward. If you have any questions, you can ask from Upul and get it clarified. And this is kind of an interactive session, so you can use your mic or chat to ask questions and get clarify of your things whenever you need. Okay, it's over to you, Upul. I welcome to Pitch Punch, and you can take this forward. Thank you.
Right. Thank you, Jasmine. So good evening, everyone. So I'm pleased to be here today with you all to conduct this session. So let me first thank Jasmine and the team for inviting me for this session. And at the same time, we all should be grateful to Jasmine and her team for organizing this wonderful program to empower entrepreneurs or the startups like yours, because we need entrepreneurs like you all to take this country to the next level. Right. Okay. So let me first introduce myself. So I'm an international consultant specializing in international trade. So I have 25 years of corporate experience across 5 different sectors, including banking and finance, international trade, FMCG, information technology, and so on and so forth. I have also with many international organizations like United Nations, International Trade Center, USAID, International Labour Organization, International Finance Corporation, GIZ, Oxfam, and so on. So with that exposure, I have been able to create the proven, result-oriented, and a unique model, or rather framework called SME Transformation and Market Access Model, designed to transform SMEs, or rather companies like you all, into export delivery. So the topic that I'm going to discuss today with you all is actually the fraction of this particular model, right? And because today's topic is branding and positioning, so that we could discuss for months or even years, because it's a very broad topic. But we have only 1 hour for this session, so my goal is to provide you with an overview using practical examples of my own projects. So then this will definitely help you on branding and position more clearly from practical perspective. Right. So in fact, this is a online session, so I want to make the interactive session, right? So what you could do is, since only 5, 6 are there, probably we can even have this session like a physical session, right? So you can interrupt me at any time and talk to me, ask questions, or else you can even drop a message on this chat box, or else if you want to ask questions, you can raise hands, right? Likewise, we can make it a very interactive session, right? Okay, before we on to the topic, I just want how many of you attended the previous session? This startup bootcamp. How many of you attended that session? So you can speak. Can unmute your microphone and speak. Right. This is my first one. Ubindu, right? What about others? Is this your first session, or did you attend? Right. Okay. Nimsara says I did not, sir. Right. What about others?
Yeah, this is
because then I can take. Sorry.
My first session as well, Dhammika.
Right, Dhammika. Right. Okay. What about others? Because then I can take some examples of the best session as well. Right. Okay. Right. I think all are new to this session. Right. Great. Okay. Right. Right. So now, as I said earlier, now using my this SME transformation and this model, because why I came up with this model, because I identified, organized that there's no model as such, in Sri Lanka as well as in other countries, right? Because now if you want to get into the export market, actually there's no particular framework or kind of a process, and also you don't know as to how you should start and what to do and how you file and so on and so forth. So that is why, I came up with this model. It's becoming very popular. And as I said earlier, most of the international organizations have endorsed this program, and they have done a lot of programs using this model. So that use one particular topic of that model, that is branding and product positioning. Right. So I have actually coached, trained, and provided consultancy for more than 5,000 SMEs in Sri Lanka using this model. Right. Okay. So now let me share my screen. Right. Hope you all can see the screen.
Yes, we can see
Right.
it.
Okay. Right. Okay. Great. Right. Now, as I said earlier, because I have trained and provided consulting. Right. The most common statement or the question that I often hear from them is that, sir, I have a best product, but I can't find a buyer. Right. This is the most common statement that I often hear when they first meet. Right. So I have a best product, but I can't find a buyer. Right. Actually, now if you look at this particular statement, of course, that consists of two keywords. Right. The first keyword is the best. I have the best product. Right. The second keyword is I can't find a buyer, maybe a local buyer or maybe international buyer. Right. Now, if someone comes and says, I have the best product, right? So my reply would be, if you have a best product, so better not to export or better not to sell. So that would be my reply. Because why I'm saying like that? Because now today you can come up with a very unique product with some unique selling propositions, right, and features and all. Tomorrow another person will copy that product and come up with a different product. I mean the same product with some new features. Then you cannot say that my one is kind of best one, because someone has introduced another simple product with some new features. So then you can't say my one is the best, right? So therefore there's nothing you can't call it you can't call your product best, right? If you say my product is best, that means there's no room for you to grow, or there's no room for you to develop, right? So when it comes to exports especially, right, what you should do is you have to keep on developing, right, your product, right? So that is why these niche markets, value addition, diversity, actually these concepts came into existence because, right? So therefore, right, what I always if you have a product, so you can make it good, then you can make it even better, but not the best, right? So because if you say best, that means because you have reached your apex point, and there's no room for you to develop, right? So other keyword is the buyer. So I can't find a buyer. So most of our SMEs think that if you can find a buyer, everything else is okay. That means you can easily negotiate with him and sell your product. So right, so we can forget the the rest, right? Right. If you find a buyer, right? So because everyone so when you when you have a product, so everyone seek out buyers, or in other words, you chase after them, right? Something like this. This is what Mohas are doing, right? So if you have a product, right? But so what I say is, now this is like a this is like a chasing a butterfly, what happens if you chase a butterfly? Right? So it will fly away. Might not be able to catch it. Likewise, if you chase after a buyer, right? Probably the most of you will not be able to, convince them and, offer your product. Only few will be able to do that one. So others will not be able to do that one, right? So rather than chasing after buyer, right? In order to attract the buyer, what you can do, or what are the different approaches, or what is the next alternative approach that you can follow to attract them to your business or to your product, rather chasing after them, right? I'm asking a question. You take the same example, this butterfly. So I want to make an interactive session, so then you could answer, right? Rather than just going after them, how do you make them, come after you? Can someone suggest?
We can add some feature for attract butterflies.
Add some?
Yeah, feature like we can add new flower to attract butterflies, like that.
Exactly. Right. Instead of going after them, what you can do is, right. So you can create a nice kind of a garden with variety of flowers, and right. This is what you can do, right. So therefore, in order to attract, actually the correct word is not finding buyers, right? Attracting buyers. If you can attract only, you can keep them for many years with you all and sell your product easy, right? So if you take this particular example, like creating a garden like this means like you create a value, right? For them. So that is why they are coming to you, right? That is why they get attracted to your business, get attracted to your product, because you have created a value for them. They see something new in your business or whatever, right? So therefore, right, always try to create a sort of a value instead of chasing them, right? Or chasing after them, right? Try to create a value and show them that you have something unique, something valuable, right? So then they'll get attracted to you, right? Right. And remember, when you create a product or a business, remember, because Sri Lanka is a very small country, right? Of course, now as a startup, of course, probably you can you can launch one or set of products initially and establish yourself in Sri Lanka, business in Sri Lanka, right? Then you can think of get into international market, right? So as I said earlier, because Sri Lanka is a very small market and it's a saturated market, right? So therefore, ensure that your range of products target not only Sri Lankan market, but also international market, right? It's something like this, right? This particular picture, right? So, a size of a shark, right? But if you place or put a small shark in a tiny glass ball and let it grow, right? It will grow. But it will grow only size of the ball. Can it grow beyond that? No, it cannot, right? Likewise, right? If you focus only on Sri Lankan market, of course, so you can grow, but right? But if you target international market, of the potential is immense. Potential is very, very high, and you will see some more opportunities in that market, right? Therefore, always look at the bigger picture, right? And understand the scope, right? See the scope, see the potential, right? Then you start offering your product or manufacturing your product, or you can think of offering different types of products based on that. So this is the place where the branding comes into picture. Right. Now, suppose now you were able to find a buyer, right? Find a buyer. And when you find a buyer, what would they first ask for? Can you answer this question? Right? Suppose you were able to find a buyer. right? When you find a buyer, what would they ask for first? Can someone answer?
Nice.
Sorry?
Nice. Oh, yes.
Yes, price will also be is one of the questions, but before that,
I think features.
sorry?
Services we are providing or features we are providing.
Yeah, I think before that, first what they want to see is your product, right? Right, samples, right? So they will ask for the product first. Okay, so then they will have a look at it and ask various questions of the price and all, right? Let's say now they are really happy with your product. They are really interested in buying your product, right? So now product is excellent, right? So you have what you call it, complied with all the standards that they require. Everything is there, right? So then do you think, since they are really interested in buying your product or they are really happy with your product, so now you can easily close this deal, right? And then ask for order. Do you think like that? Say now, right? So somehow you find a buyer, then you show your products. So then they will have a look at it and they are really interested in buying your products, right? They are really happy, right? So do you think that since they are happy, so you will be able to easily close this deal? Yes or no? Say no, right? Why? Why? Can anyone say why? So need to discuss about charges. Yeah, right. So he or she, I mean the potential buyer, it will ask for many questions. Right? They will ask many questions, right? Not only the product, right? Maybe he or she may be right happy with your product, but by just looking at your product, he or she won't decide whether he's going to buy this or not. Right. So that will depend on many other factors, right? So this is the place where the branding comes into play and branding becomes very important, right? Okay. Right. Now let's move on to our topic. First one is the branding, right? So what is, according to your right understanding, right? Because now I'm sure that most of you have theoretical background in branding, but here what I'm going to do is to show the practical aspect of creating brand, positioning and all those things, right? So according to you, right? Okay, before that, how many of you have brands? How many of you have developed brands already? How many? And also I would like to know the brand name. So no one has a brand. You're yet to build a brand. All are like early stage of your business. I just want to know. No one has a brand. Yes, right. Jasmine has 3 brands: Ogirl, Oriel, and Real Life. Great. I have a plan to set up a tea export business. Right. Very good. And I've got trained as a tea taster for that. Right. And still planning. Right. Okay. Right. So then this will be useful when you build a brand for your company. Right. Now, when you say brand, of course, right? Brand is not just a logo, right? So my definition is brand is everything, right? It's a perception the people have of your business, right? And especially for a startup, of course, there has to be a very unique and appealing brand name, because that builds the trust and attract customers and differentiate you from the competitors. There are a lot of advantages of coming up with a nice or a perfect brand, right? Okay, so when you say branding, of course, right, branding has key elements, right? So there are many elements, but I'm going to basically talk about 4 main elements, right? So which is very, very useful for you all to, like, when you create a brand or build a brand. So this would be very, very useful, right? First one is the brand identity. There has to be a brand identity. That is the place where the logo, colors, and typography, visual consistency, and so on and so forth come into play, right? Now, this part, of course, I mean, you can hire someone and get him to do this one, right? But right, and when it comes to brand voice, so that's tone, personality, there are a lot of things. Actually, the one who designs your logo, the brand, or whatever, like will basically tell you exactly how it should be done, right? Now, these are first 2 key elements, but you can easily hire someone and get someone to do this. But important parts are, next 2 elements. That is the brand value. First one is the brand values, right? In order to tell the company or agency that you hire to do your brand, of course, you should be able to communicate this one properly. Then only you will be able to, or they will be able to come up with a nice brand for you, right? If you do not communicate the brand, the value, right, and why you why you are unique and why you what you offer, right, and things like that, of course, then they won't be able to come up with a better the brand, right? So other one is the brand promise, right? So that is, in other words, it says what customers can consistently expect from you, right? So how you differentiate your product or a company from rest of the companies in the sector or in the industry, right? So those are the key elements of a brand. So when you develop a new brand, right? Okay. Now, when it comes to brand identity and voice, of course, I'm sure you know about the logos, colors, typography, and so on and so forth, because you have seen, I'm sure that you have seen many logos, right? But here the important parts are the brand values and the brand promise. So now let's discuss what those elements are, right? When you say brand value, right? Of course, I mean the value of the brand will depend on these key areas. First one is your vision, right? You have to clearly tell, because now, as I said earlier, so when you find a buyer, especially international buyer, now there are some people who are planning to export, right? Now one has said now he's tea and and he's doing his set of task to get into the export market, and it's really good and great to hear, right? But make sure that you do this part properly, right? So then only you can sustain in the market for a long period of time, right? So therefore, I mean, first have to, because now actually I have a company, right? So what we do is, actually it's an export consulting company. So what we do is we offer almost all the services required by SMEs or companies, right, for them to get into the export market or to transform them into export-oriented companies, right? So branding to packaging to product development to certifications to market research to development to marketing to social media marketing to, right, everything, almost everything under one roof, right? So then in a while, so I will show some kind of brands that we develop. I'll take one example and explain how we develop that particular brand for that company, right? So therefore, first one is you have to have a clear vision where you won't be in another 6-7 years. Don't just come up with a brand by just looking at the current market or low hanging fruit that you see, right? Always look at the bigger picture, where you want to be, right? So now, initially, you may come up with 3-4 products, but once you get into the market, right, you will see enough and more opportunities, new markets, new customers, right? So then probably, because there are lots of brands I know, right? So they have like, in order to get it to market, so they somehow, come up with a brand and offer some products. Then later they see a huge potential in the market, and then the number of products that they can offer, right? But when they select those products and start offer, they know that they cannot offer those products or services through existing brand. Then they have to build another brand. So there are so many in that. So that is why I'm telling, right? So since you all are startup, right? So do this part, perfectly. Otherwise, we will also be in trouble in future, right? So that is why I always say, look at the bigger picture. Don't just look at the current market which is available, which you can see currently, right? So there'll be a lot of other markets in the world, right? So that you can cater to, right? Therefore, understand that and come up with a better brand so that you can accommodate any product into your product portfolio under this brand. So that is what is important. So therefore, vision is very important, right? So define your and the vision, right? And also the brand story. So that is very, very important, right? And the slogan, right? So when I undertake a project, consulting project, I normally start the slogan. But unfortunately, the slogan in Sri Lanka, and as far as our SMEs are concerned, of course, the slogan receives the least attention, right? And most of the brands, don't have a slogan, or most of the companies don't have a slogan. But I view the most important one is the slogan, right? If I ask this question, okay, which one is more powerful, a brand or a slogan? Right, it's a slogan is a part of a brand, but I have seen a lot of brands without a slogan. So I'm asking a question, right? Which one is more powerful, brand or the slogan, or brand slogan? In Sri Lanka, correct. Any other? Yeah, Umidu says in Sri Lanka it's brand, right? What about others? Right? Yeah, it's correct. In Sri Lanka, it's brand. But my personal view is that, slogan should be the most powerful one. Why? Okay, let me take this example. Right, Sam Gedarakama Sitiyu to Edamahata. So when you hear this statement or a slogan, what comes to your mind? Sam Gedarakama Sitiyu to Edamahata. So when you hear this statement or the slogan, what comes to your mind? Siddhalepa. Exactly. Siddhalepa. Yes, everyone says Siddhalepa. That means, so then, did I say that it's a slogan of Siddhalepa, or there's no Siddhalepa at all? Within that slogan, right? But you all know it's Siddhalepa. So that is why now the Sama Gedarakama Sitiyu Edamahata is a slogan of Siddhalepa, right? So then that is why I said the slogan is much more powerful than the brand, because the slogan, right, projects who you are or what you offer to the outside world, right? It says, right, the short, catchy phrase that encapsulates your brand essence or promise, right? So therefore, when a buyer sees your brand with the slogan, he or she should be able to understand what you offer, who you are, right? What you're doing, because that is projected by what? The slogan. That is projected by slogan. Therefore, both the brand name and the slogan is very, very important, especially in this era, in this AI. I'll tell you why. Okay, right. Is this clear up to this point? Okay. So make sure when you do a brand, you have to define all these four clearly, including the brand. So I'll take an example and explain in a while. Okay. So before we move on to that, let me know whether you understood what we discussed so far. Any questions? Right. Okay. Clear. Right. Right. Now let me take an example, right, of my own project, right? But I'm unable to show the brand name. It's a recently developed brand for one of my clients, but I will show, right? The brand, I will basically tell how this brand was created, right? And so on and so forth, without showing what the brand is, right? And even the brand story, right? In fact, this client, of course, came to me. He had a brand, actually. When he came to me, he had a brand. And he had set of good products, right? And he wanted to get into the export market because he had some action with certain countries. So then he came to me to get some advice as to how he should, get into the export market. So then when I assessed him or evaluated him, whether he has necessary, the capacity, the skills, and so on, of course, this is one of the areas that I assessed. That is his brand. He had a brand. Then I said, with this brand, you can go ahead, right? Definitely you will get stuck halfway through. And also, I told him that definitely you will regret in future that you should have built a, stronger brand than this, right? Then he asked why, right? Then I explained, okay, so these are the gaps or these are the weaknesses in the existing brand, right? Then he said, okay, so why don't you build a brand for me? I said, okay, yes, I can do that one, but right. So then I need to have a chat with you and gather some information, right? So then I said, okay, tell everything that you have in mind with regard to your business, right? Why you started this business, right? And why you are unique, right? And how you differentiate yourself from the rest of the companies, right? Which offer similar types of products, right? And I basically threw some questions to him, directed some questions to him. Then he said, yes, in fact, so I have a concept in mind. So I just want to implement that concept. So that concept is the fair trade, right? Because I firmly believe in ethical farming, right? Fair trade, and I want to empower local livelihood and so on and so forth, right? I said, so that should be your brand, right? Nothing else, not the products or not the services that you offer. So, I mean, the brand should be around this particular thing, what you just discussed, right? So, therefore, so then I was able, because now, okay, let me all ask questions, ask another question. Now, what is the, I would say, the most popular buzzword these days, right? That so many of most of the countries or the people are talking about. What's the most popular buzzword these days in many countries? Can anyone? Can anyone suggest? Now, whole world is talking about this these days.
I think it depends with industry. I think it should be AI powered.
Yes, AI is yes. One aspect is AI, and there's another one.
Automated.
So that is sustainability. Sustainability, right? So now, if you look at the organizations like United Nations, USAID, Oxfam, ILO, and things, right? If you because all of them have some goals to achieve, right? I mean, the long-term, mid-term, as well as short-term goals, right? If you really look at their goals, I think the first or the goal which is on top in their list of goals is the sustainability, right? And second one is women empowerment, right? So therefore, you can create a brand aligning these sustainable concepts and all, right? So because the sustainability is the future, right? I mean, the future is the sustainability, right? So therefore, what you can do is when you create or build a brand, right? Make sure that you can, I mean, if you can align or if you can connect sustainability aspect also, like with your brand, right? So your brand will be very, very new, right? Likewise, now here, this is also connected to sustainability. If you take this particular brand, right? So, right, I took 2 words to build the brand. As I said earlier, I can't tell you what that brand is because it's a recently created brand for one of my clients, right? I took this Terra and Fair, those 2 words, right, and build a brand. And, right, the tagline was fair soil to a healthy life, right? So when you hear this slogan, what comes to your mind? Fair soil to a healthy life. Right, and if you basically type this one on a AI and ask if you get the real meaning of it, so it will explain clearly what this is. Fair soil to a healthy life. What comes to your mind when you see this line? Can you just tell me? Because this tagline is completely based on one of his concepts, right? So that is the fair trade. Do you know what the fair trade is? It's another popular kind of a concept that many countries are practicing right now, right? What is fair trade? And there's a certification also, fair trade certification. Right? Because you should be familiar with these terms if you are trying to get into the market or build a brand or offer some products.
It's a sustainable production.
Yes, sustainability part is also there. But what is the logic behind that? So it says, fair trade says, right, the fair share should go to each and everyone in your value chain. Now, today what happens is, who takes the, highest share when a transaction takes place, right? Farmer or those who are in the middle, right? Those who are in the middle, no? Right? Farmer gets the least portion, whereas, the middleman or those who are in the middle will get the higher portion, right? And then, probably marketer will also get a fair share. But today, the trader will get the higher share. But this says, no, everyone should go to it, not an equal share. Keep that in your mind. It's not an equal share, fair share based on contribution. So then the logic behind the fair trade is that, right, if you have a fair trade certificate, so that, I mean, the logic behind the fair trade is that, right, if fair share goes to each and every, one in your value chain, everyone will be happy. If everyone is happy, what can you say about the quality of the product? The quality is also very high. So that is the logic behind the fair trade. So therefore, he's going to take a fair trade certification as well and connect everything with this fair trade concept. And right, so then it says, right, I mean, that is why I came up with this tagline, fair soil to a healthy life. So then whatever he offers, now he's going to connect that one with this brand and the slogan, right? So therefore, make sure that, when you build a brand, right, come up with a meaningful brand as well as a line so that you can easily tell others who you are, right? So that's the beauty of tagline and the brand, right? And the next important is, right, the brand story, right? Now, when it comes to a brand, of course, now today, as we discussed earlier, now moving into a new era, that is the AI era. With AI, of course, now everything is changing, right? Everything is changing, right? So we don't know, I mean, in next year, what sort of a world will be there, right? Because, right, the role of the professions are redefined. Or if you take the role of a software developer, it's redefined, right? If you don't know AI, of course, right? I mean, no one will hire you, right? So then with AI and all those things, and also when it comes to digital marketing, we know that like now most of our clients or customers, they are really interested in I mean, rather than just going somewhere and buying something, right? So if you can buy something online, so like I mean, the most of our people, especially these like XY generations, so they will definitely, I mean, in future, most of will buy what they want online. So therefore, right, so you have to do a lot of online promotions. So when it comes to online promotions, of course, this becomes very, very important because you can write blogs, a lot of articles on your brand story and attract your customers to this rather than product and show you are different, right? If you buy a product, right, you are part of this as well. So this is the message that you need to convey with your brand and the brand story, right? Right. So I mean, if you can connect your brand story or a tagline with your product, of course, so there'll be a lot of benefits, right? A lot of benefits because we don't have time to discuss all those things. But what I'm saying is at least, right? I mean, clearly define your vision, mission, brand story, and the slogan. Those 4 elements are very, very important when it comes to branding. Right now, this is I have without mentioning the brand name. Yes, I have actually this is exactly the brand story that we developed for that particular customer. But you can see the brand name over here instead of, I mean, for the brand name I have put ABC, right? So you can see I mean, by looking at this brand story, you will know exactly what it's going to do, right? That is why the brand story is very, very important. Okay, right. So now, next important point is the brand promise, right? So actually, a brand promise is directly connected with the position, right? Now, if you say brand promise supports position, right? That's brand promise is foundation of your position, right? And at the same time, it says positioning communicates a promise, right? It's correlated, right? If you go back to right, main elements of branding, right? First one is brand identity, brand voice, brand values. We just discussed. Now we are going to discuss brand promise, right? Brand promise is basically how you position yourself or how you position your product or company in local as well as in the international market, right? Okay, right. Now we are moving on to the next kind of a part of our topic, that is product positioning. Okay, can someone tell me, according to your understanding, what the positioning is, product positioning is? So can you? What do you mean by product positioning? I'm sure that you have heard of this word 100,000 times, right? Positioning. So, right, even if you have a better product, if you don't know how to position, right, you will not be able to market that product. It says identify audience. It's a placement in the market, right? What about others? Right. Okay, let's see. Right. Positioning refers to the place that brand occupies in the minds of the customer, how it is distinguished from the products of the competitors, right? In a nutshell, so that is what is called positioning, right? That means how you now when you hear that the slogan "Sam Gedarakama Situ Veda Mahata," right? Everyone knows that is Siddharth, right? That means they have positioned their product or the companies really well. That is why I mean almost all the Sri Lankans know about it because their positioning is fantastic, right? So that's what we can say, right? So that is why you can remember that the slogan, the brand, why the positioning is perfect, right? So then how you can build a brand like that, right? That is what is important. That is what is called positioning. Okay. Now, when you position, you have to consider four main, parts. These are, we call them four elements of, or main elements of product positioning, right? First one is the value proposition, right? Value proposition is mainly you have to clearly convey to your buyers or clients or customers, right? So your product may be a, a food item, or maybe a sort of a beverage, or maybe a shampoo, or maybe cosmetic item, or some other product, whatever it is. Okay, when you eat that product, or when you apply that product on your skin, or when you drink that product, or whatever it is, okay, what the benefit, ultimate benefit that your customer get after consuming that particular product, right? So you have to clearly convey that message in your, promotional campaigns, on your website, on your, digital marketing campaigns, right? So you have to, this is a part of position, value proposition, right? And I'll go through these four. The other one is the unique selling proposition, right? That means how you differentiate your product from others, right? How you differentiate your product from the rest of the, the similar products available in the market, right? So let me first explain these elements, and I'll take one of my examples from one of my projects and explain what it is, right? And at the same time, you have to tell the market segment, right? You have to clearly specify the market segment. This product is not for everyone. This product is one particular target market, right? One particular target market, not for everyone. Okay, and at the same time, you have to say, okay, reasons to believe, right? Why I should believe in your brand, or believe in what you have said, or believe in your value proposition, unique selling proposition, right? Why I should believe in your product. So that you have to clearly tell them, right? So then only we can say you have done your positioning really well, right? Only for these four elements, right? Now in your kind of campaigns, promotional campaigns, or any other campaigns. So this is the message that you need to convey to your clients. So then only they will come and buy your product. Okay. Okay. Let me take an example from one of the projects. Right. Right. Actually, this is another wonderful product. So basically emerged after one of my consultancy assignments. Right. Okay. Now let me, because I know that all of you know vanilla, right? You know what vanilla is. Okay. What is the usage of vanilla? What do you do with vanilla? Why you require vanilla? Can someone tell me? It's a flavor. It's a flavor. Anything else? Essence, of course. It's an essence, right? You can use it as a flavor, essence, right? So, right, that is how you define vanilla, right? And if you are trying to sell vanilla, so you're going to sell vanilla as essence or a flavor. That is the market that you know, right? Now I had a client, right? He has a vanilla plantation as well, right? He came to me saying that, like, I want to get it to international market. Now, currently I'm an indirect exporter, right? I want to become a direct exporter, right? Then what I said was, yes, there are two approaches. One is you can get into the bulk market, right? And you can compete with existing, suppliers in the market, or else you can come up with a unique product, right? Then I asked, okay, which one would you choose? He said, I'll try my best with your help to come up with a unique product, right? So then I'll show you, right, the product he introduced, right? Vanilla tattoo wash, right? Actually, now this is, he came up with this, he was able to kind of introduce this product after conducting extensive research and with my other, advice and all those things only, he came up with this product, right? So then you might wondering what this is, right? And sometimes you might even laugh, okay, what can we do with this tattoo wash? Actually, his target market was USA, right? Okay, now you can take your phone, right, and just type number of people in US with tattoos. Just Google and tell me the number of people in US with tattoos. How many? Just Google and let me know how many people. 32% of adults. Yeah, nearly 30% of the population. Yeah, 32, right? That means nearly 2/3 of the population. Sorry, 1/3 of the population is with tattoos, right? The population is, I think, USA population is, total population is around 350 million. Out of 300, if you divide it by 3, it's 100 million, right? That is your market. That is your market. Okay. And even if you target 1% of that market, still 1 million, right? Still 1 million. And if you keep $1 as a margin, still you can earn $1 million. In Sri Lankan rupees, it's nearly 300 million, right? This is how you should come up with, right? Because I took the same example in the earlier session, also the program also, when I was doing product innovation, right? So I took the same example, right? So now you can see the market, right? Now let's see, okay. So, right, and also you can see the brand and the tagline of this product, right? So the brand they suggested was Pache, because the Americans, they don't know what the Pache is, whereas we know what the Pache is, but that will be a very powerful brand, and there's a brand story behind that as well. And the tagline is nurture the skin, preserve the art. Right? It not only nurtures the skin, but preserve the art as well. Because now, when they tattoo, right, already a tattoo, right? So probably once you have a tattoo, after some time, like it might get faded. So therefore, what this particular product does is that is the art without fade or without letting. So you can keep the shine and everything as it is, and at the same time, it nurtures the skin as well. Right. So now if you look at the tagline itself is a USP, unique selling proposition. It clearly says, like, why this one is different from, others, because there are tattoo wash as well in that market. But why this is different? Because it nurtures the skin and preserves the art as well. Right. That's their product. Now, what we need to look at is, okay, how they are going to position this particular product in the market. Okay. Now, if you go back, sorry. Right. First one is the value proposition. Now we have to clearly communicate to your client. Okay. What is the value proposition? Value proposition is, right, the final outcome or the benefit that you're getting after applying this particular product or a tattoo wash. Right. Right. This is right benefits. The ultimate benefits of this product is rich in antioxidants, anti-inflammatory properties, right, and antibacterial effects, moisturizing and soothing, pleasant fragrance, and skin healing support. Right. These are the, what you call it, benefits that the client is getting after applying this product. Whereas others don't. When you buy a similar product in the market, right, you don't get these benefits. This differentiate your product from others. And at the same time, why it is different? Now, these are the benefits. Why it is different from others, right? Because of this. What is that? Alcohol-free, right? Because if you take perfume or a product like this, main content is the alcohol ingredient, right? But this is alcohol free, right? So it's a USP, and soothing and high, preserving the ink colors, and use 100% natural vanilla. So those are the USPs of this particular product, right? Okay, then now you know, right, what the value proposition, USPs, and the market segment. What's the market segment, right? You can say male or female, right, with tattoos in US. So that's a target market, right? So when you say, right, this is only for men or women, right, with tattoos, does that mean that only those who are having tattoos can apply this product? No. Right? So there may be some potential customers as well, those who are planning to have a tattoo. Right? So then they will also get attracted to this product in future. Right? So, but clearly say this product is for not for everyone, but for this particular market. And at the same time, you have to say reasons to believe. Why you should believe in this product? So that is why I'm sure that you've seen in certain products or on packaging. So they have mentioned, you know, their certifications, right? Organic, maybe fair trade, maybe yes. So the logos. Why they display those certification on the packaging, right? It's a reason to believe. Then you know that, like, you know, normal, like, you know, ordinary company won't get those certifications because you have set of products, you have processes unique. That is why you have got this certification, right? And if you have been in the market for more than 10 years or 20 years, it's other, you know, reasons to believe, right? And if you can show some kind of testimonials of customers talking about your product happily, it's another reasons to believe. Therefore, likewise, there are so many areas we can, you know, show as reasons to believe, right? So then if you can have all these four, right, in your campaign, right, that means you have positioned your product really well, right? So, but unfortunately, so we communicate everything else other than these four. So therefore, make sure in your campaigns, especially your social media campaigns or in other campaigns, make sure that you communicate these four elements properly, right? So then only people will come and buy your product. Right now, this is actually I discuss everything in a very you know, it's a very brief one, right? But if you go into detail, of course, there are certain, you know, other aspects that we discuss, but we don't have time, right? Finally, right? So we have to, right, you know, come up with a positioning statement like this, right? Actually, when I conduct my two-day, 3-day workshop, of course, right? So I get them to, you know, do a positioning statement for their product. Right now, here what you see is the positioning statement of the Coca-Cola with these four elements, right? So that is why you have been drinking Coca-Cola for last 100 odd years. That is merely because of the position, not because of anything else, right? So I'm not going to discuss these statements. Later on, you can, you know, read this and see whether these are true or not, right? That's a different story. But this is how they have positioned the Coca-Cola. That is why you have been drinking it for last, you know, 100 years, right? That is merely because of positioning, right? If you really look only for the four elements that we discussed, are there in this positioning state, right? So with that, I'm going to conclude my session, right? So if you have any questions or if you need any clarifications, of course, you can ask and drop a message, or you can unmute your microphone and ask. And at the same time, yeah, first, we'll have the Q&A session. So then I need to get your feedback on that too. Thanks, a great session. Thank you very much. Any questions?
Hello, good evening.
Good evening. Yes.
Yes, I am Himal. Actually, it's a great session. So my question is, when we are branding a product, but how about the legal? How about the legality status and how to make it legal on the product legality in this country, legal background or what to do and those things.
Right. So what you can do is, of course, you have to come up with not only one name, right? At least two, three names, two, three brand names, right? And then you have to basically give it to your. I mean, you can even check by yourself by visiting the website of what is that? Register of Company (ROC), or else you can speak to your company secretaries and give these names, or give one name and ask whether it already is. Then they know, check it and let you know, right? And so then if there's case, then you can go and register, right? Now remember, now today I have seen there are companies, actually their brand name, their company name, right? It's totally wrong because they don't have idea the difference between the company name and the brand name. Company name is one thing, the brand name is another. But make sure you register both your company as well as your brand, even the design, the logo design. Otherwise, after some time, another person can steal and register your one under his name or under his company. Then you can't do anything. So therefore, no sooner you develop a brand name, even the slogan, right? Make sure that you go to ROC and register, right? And at the same time, right now, when you get into the international market brand, of course, there's another, I don't have time to show that one, right? In process. So you have to register your brand. Now, let's say you're trying to go to Malaysia or Austria or some other country, right? If you're trying to go to 3 countries, so you register your brand in all countries, right? And there's there's a place where you can go visit and see whether your brand already exists in that country. Now, we don't have time to discuss that, right? So there's a place, right? So you can visit that place and see whether that brand exists in other countries. So normally what I do is, before I develop a brand, I check all those things and then only I develop a brand. Because there are a lot of companies in Sri Lanka, even a blue chip companies, you won't believe, right? With their existing brand, so they cannot enter certain countries, main countries. Why? That brand already there in that country. Then they have to definitely come up with a new brand, or they have to partner with someone else in that country and sell that product under someone else's brand. Hope you got the answer. Right.
Yes, sir. Thank you very much. Sir.
Now, this is a very vast area, so I just gave you the essence of core of branding and positioning, through some of my projects. Register the company with ROC and register the brand name as a trademark or a trade name, both, right? Trademark is your logo, trade name is your brand name. Both have to be registered. Otherwise, someone can steal it and register under his name or his company's name. What do you mean by NIPO? NIPO or WIPO? What do you mean by?
I think it's National Intellectual Property.
Intellectual Property Office. Yes.
Yes,
yes. Yeah. So that will be done by actually ROC. If you go to ROC, then they will do the needful. Right, you're going to register your brand in some other country. Of course, you have to. WIPO is the place, World Intellectual Property Organization. But we don't have direct access to that, so you have to go via an international consultant or international lawyer. Right. Right. What can you say about the today's session? Was it useful? Did you learn something new?
It's actually it's useful and a great session. Thank you, sir.
Right, thank you. So normally I don't take examples of other companies or other products. I normally, even in my other sessions, I take examples of from my own projects. I have done many projects. Even currently there are ongoing projects, right? So I take all examples of my own projects. Right. Thank you very much. And I wish all of you all the best in your future endeavors. And if you need any help in relation to anything, as I said earlier, it could be branding, could be packaging, right? So we design packaging, right? Because when it comes to packaging, of course, it's another area that you need to learn, right? Because you can't design a packaging as you want, especially when you get into the export market, right? There are certain regulations you need to adhere to. Right, and that also vary from country to country, right? And even the colors matter, right? So there are so many things. So therefore, we undertake all those jobs, right, and offer almost all the services required by you all, right, to get into the not only export market, even to local market, right? We offer services, right? So you can me through my LinkedIn. So I think Jasmine has put the LinkedIn profile or LinkedIn link of my profile. So, right. So thank you once again, right? And I wish you all the very best. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Upul Dasanayake. He's a lead consultant and experts in product innovations and branding. And I think it's a very insightful session that we had today. And I really encourage you to follow these tips, tactics, and ideas that he has shared with you all. So you can apply those into your practical situations when you are creating a brand, position your product, and also make sure that you always give your value proposition. That means that your uniqueness in your products. So that's very important to get the competitive market. Okay, so tomorrow we have a online session, that is session 5 by Dinu Kandahetti for personal growth and transformation. As a startup founder, entrepreneur, the investors, whoever your co-founders and other partners or clients, customers, will buy something from you or invest on you, not only about the products or what are the good ideas or whatever the branding. It's always think the value creation from your personal brand as well, whom you are, right? Your personality. So that you should improve with the growth mindset. So that's why we will talk about personal growth and transformation. You have to become a new person with your extraversion and changing your lifestyle, your way of thinking and way you are grooming, and that is more important. So that's why we are talking about tomorrow. So I invite everyone to be there tomorrow at the same time, 4 p.m. So thank you once again, Upul Dasanayake, and thank you for all the participants today. And we'll meet you tomorrow at the same time, 4 p.m. And until then, stay blessed, stay with a growth mindset. See you tomorrow.